This is Best 380 ACP Battle Ranking. First, we'll rank today's firearms against 12 categories. And now, a flashback to our previous rankings. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 and the SIG P238 are being added to the rankings today. We will also be ranking the best pocket 380 and best overall 380 today. Let's get started. How accurate is the firearm in human hands using commonly available ammunition? For the SIG P238, and you'll see this throughout the video, we are ranking it the same that we have the Kimber Micro 380. The Kimber and the SIG fans each might feel differently about the other, and we'll certainly listen to their comments and, if we feel the need, adjust rankings accordingly in the future. For the Bodyguard 2.0, I have slotted it in for accuracy at the same place I have the Glock G42 today. There's certainly room for it to move up and down this list, though after about 1,000 rounds so far through the firearm, this is where I think it sits, around the level of the Glock G42. Let's move on. How reliable is the firearm in human hands using commonly available ammunition? The Bodyguard 2.0 with 0 failures is in our top tier for reliability, whereas the P238 with more than a few failures that are very similar to the Micro 380 finds itself on the second tier of reliability. How does the recoil impulse of the firearm feel in human hands? Being the smallest, probably lightest firearm in this list, the Bodyguard 2.0 on those factors should be at the bottom. However, the low bore access, the stout recoil spring, and the overall ergonomics allow it to punch well above its weight in terms of recoil, and in my opinion find it landing somewhere in the range of the G28, G42 on the list in terms of felt recoil. And again, the P238 we have ranked in the same spot as the Micro 380. How easy is the firearm to carry concealed by your average human? In results, completely expected, the Bodyguard 2.0 has jumped to the top spot on the concealability list, pushing the rest of the items down a notch. How well does the firearm sit in the average human, aka mine, hand? The Bodyguard 2.0, I struggled to rank a little here. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put it above or below the G42, so we settled on maybe both. And again, the P238 here is ranked the same as the Micro 380. Let us know in the comments, did you struggle to rank the Bodyguard 2.0 with our list in terms like we did? Or where did you rank it? Let us know. How easy are the stock sights for your average human to use? Coming with full-size, replaceable night sights, the P238 is getting ranked the same again as the Micro 380. The Bodyguard 2.0 is coming in at number 4 on our list, dropping the rest of the entries down. I ranked it at number 4 for a combination of having a night sight, a smaller dot on the night sight, which I think lends itself to more precise groups, and they're easy sights for me to see. How good are the combination of the break, reset, length of the pull, etc. of the stock trigger? In terms of one-upping the Ruger LCP Max, recoil is certainly a big one, but trigger is another almost equally big factor in the Bodyguard 2.0 being able to so handily one-up the LCP Max at this point. With how thin the firearm is, if this firearm had a true apples to apples trigger between the LCP Max and the Bodyguard 2.0, I don't think just a little less recoil alone would account for the better groups that we see. And in fact, I think that trigger is probably half responsible for the improvement. How much capacity does the firearm have when using unaltered manufacturer magazines? With the Bodyguard 2.0 having manufacturer magazines the same size and capacity as the LCP Max, and the P238 having the same magazines as the Micro 380, both of those are slotting in next to their counterparts in this slide. How easy is the firearm for your average human to clean and maintain, and how easy is it to get replacement parts for? With the toolless takedown of the Bodyguard 2.0, this is a case where looks can be deceiving, and you would think it should be higher on this list as a result. However, the Bodyguard 2.0, you need to pull the trigger to field strip it. So in my opinion, that puts it at the same level as the G42, which is where we put it on the list. And the P238, again, because it's very, very similar to the Micro 380, ranks the same as the Micro 380 in this regard again. Do you feel like a dictator when holding the firearm? If not, how close did the manufacturer let you get to that? By virtue of having, at one point, well over 20 different models, and going head-to-head directly with the Micro 380 in the Bling Bling contest, the SIG P238 is right up there with the Micro 380. The new Bodyguard 2.0, at this point, as far as I can tell, there's just one option from SIG available, and outside of cosmetics, one is enough. Let's move on. How age and accommodation friendly is the firearm? With less recoil than the LCP Max and a better trigger, at first glance one would think that the Bodyguard 2.0 has a chance at being in the top half of this list, but the thing that gives it the less recoil is also one of the things that's holding it back in this regard, and that is the stout recoil spring. Combined with how thin the firearm is, there are people who will have a very challenging time articulating the slide on this firearm, especially those who may have, say, arthritic hands. How much cheddar is it worth? One pleasant surprise, besides all the awesome features packed into the Bodyguard 2.0, was the Smith & Wesson kept the price in the high 300, low 400 range so that it is affordable to many people. Now, it didn't do quite enough in terms of features and price to jump the SIG P365 380 or the Ruger Security 380, but that's just my opinion. You could easily have it at the top of your list too, or I guess even lower somehow. It's time to rank the best pocket able 380. Those with larger pockets are going to debate number 5 here, but let's start in the 5 spot with the SIG P238 or the Kimber Micro 380. We're showing the SIG, the Kimber is also in the 5 slot. In number 5, because of the all-metal frame, the thin nature, the full-size sights, the very good triggers, the external hammer that some people are going to be a fan of, and kind of like the bike from Judge Dredd, if you can get it to work, they can be excellent firearms. The Glock G42, while starting to show some age, still puts up groups that are extremely hard to compete with, and it's still extremely reliable. 2 factors that, well, for any pistol are hard to top. In our number 3 slot is what we consider the Glock G42 2.0, the SIG P365 380. The modular nature of that fire control unit lend this pistol to a great many sizes, including pocketable, and it's a great pistol in any of those configurations. Sitting in the Riker position is now the previous king of the pocket, the Ruger LCP Max. It's never put the prettiest holes in paper, and we all know that. It's always been the pocket king for the combination of concealability and capacity, which now it's no longer the king of. Everything the LCP Max was, but a little thinner, lighter, better trigger, less recoil, and in my opinion better sights, and a new king of the pocket is crowned with the Bodyguard 2.0. And now, best overall 380, still in production. Coming in at the number 5 spot, a choice that, well, it's going to surprise some and not surprise others, the Glock G42. The reasons for it landing in our top 5 overall are very similar to what landed it on the overall pocketable list, and it's the combination of accuracy and reliability. It's really hard to top a pistol that's extremely accurate and reliable, even when it's at a capacity disadvantage, in our opinion. Many firearms today could be that 5th firearm, but our top 4, I think it's a lot harder to argue. And in that number 4 spot is the firearm in the last month that's really come onto the scene, busting down walls like the Kool-Aid Man in commercials back in the day, the Bodyguard 2.0. With a great combination of concealability, lower than expected recoil, better than expected trigger and accuracy, and the Bodyguard 2.0 is an excellent choice no matter how you look at it. It's a great pocket firearm, and it's just a great overall 380. The top 3 on this list is where things get even more challenging. In the subcompact size, with a double stack capacity of 10 to 15 rounds from the manufacturer, low recoil, easy to rack slide, easy to see sights, and while a trigger that I'm not a big fan of, but it's good enough for the purpose. The Ruger Security 380 also has an extremely affordable price point. All those things combined to make for a firearm that is one of the top 380s available today, still in production. If the torches and pitchforks weren't out already, they will shortly. In the number 2 spot, the Beretta 80X Cheetah has just about every feature someone might look for in a firearm, other than being striker fired, but at a expensive price. Now recently that price did drop by $100, which gave it a chance at becoming king of 380s, but it's still a little more expensive than it should be, in my opinion, and, well, you need a plate that Beretta doesn't include to mount an optic. The combination of lower price point and not needing that plate to mount some popular optics today, combined with the fire control unit that you can move to any other P365 frame to make for a very customizable platform, and the king of all 380s today, still in production, is the SIG P365 380. You've seen us shoot it on the channel with and without the hollow sun sight, and in both configurations it's extremely accurate. I prefer to have the XL grip frame on it and use the 12 round magazines, though you can also use the 10 round and 15 round magazines, giving for a lot of firepower in a small package that's extremely accurate, extremely reliable, extremely customizable, and in some places you'll find it even in the mid to upper 300 price point. All that combined to make for the king of 380s, again, the SIG P365 380. Let us know in the comments what your ranking of the 380s is, and what do you have as your king of the 380s? That sounds like a great spot to end today's video. If you liked today's video, like it and share it with your friends. Those things are free and help the channel greatly. If you didn't enjoy today's video, let us know why in the comments, or sleep tonight knowing Fred is judging you. If you're a cat person, Fred's also judging you. Well, anyway, I really appreciate you getting this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.